Now, delighted to say the trainer of Vidora, who's running in the Alcors, we have Lloyd Kennewell from Australia. A big moment. He's just told me whatever happens, he's not going to try and break David Boone's record, but whatever, you must be delighted to have this superstar mare lining up in the Alcor sprint.
Yeah, extremely happy to be here. She's been on a bit of a recruitment path from Neil Jennings and the crew here, so we tried to get here last year, but it just wasn't viable to get her here, and there was a few other things on the agenda, and this is her final year of racing and her final campaign pretty much before she heads off to stud. So really looking forward to her running on Saturday, and she's in tip-top order.
And she's put you on the map, hasn't she? I mean, how proud are you to be associated with a horse like this?
Yeah, I'll take that. She's definitely helped me, and I've helped her, obviously. But she's helped, obviously, with my career, moving to Melbourne, and things have been rolling on at a really good rate at the moment. We've been spending up at the yearling sales and got a lot of people at home that have put a lot of faith into me over the last 12 months, 2 years, but that's with all the hard work we've put in over the last 5 to 10 years to really build the stable up. And obviously we've set her for some big races, and she's won a couple of Group 1s in that time. And
the last run, you were happy with it. It may, on the face it, you say, well, down the field, but actually your reaction was, well, that felt like a good tune-up.
It was actually a really good run. She ranked about the third best in the race from the professionals that do the form over in Australia, and she just got shunted back on the inside, which she doesn't like. She likes to have space and room, hence one of the reasons I was keen to bring her here with the width of the track that you guys have here and race on. Gives every horse a chance to get that room, and she still went past a horse like Nature Strip really quick, who won a Group 1 in Sydney on the weekend. So I think taking that into account, that she's a multiple Group 1 winner, she's going to run extremely well.
And you're looking at her and you're feeling, it sounds like you're a positive person, but are you looking at her and going, yes, I've got her where I want her to be?
She's a very good horse to travel with. She's been on the plane a few times around Australia. She does everything you want. She looks a bit like Beyonce. She's got a big booty on her, and she does enjoy it. She floats around. She poses for the cameras, as you guys have seen probably over the last week. She knows that she's on the big stage, and she's got one of the best attitudes you've seen. Been well looked after by Paddy Bell, who travelled with Black Caviar and Hinchinbrook to England, and under his guidance, she's done extremely well here. And I would think that the way she worked this morning, I don't think anyone would have missed it.
And how pleased were you with what? This was a sort of final day.
Yeah, it was exactly what we wanted from her. She was out there just to stride up the straight, and then from the half mile just get a little bit quicker into even time, and basically just wanted to run down the last 300 and make sure the last 100 she found the line. And the last 100 was enormous. She scooted along very well, and like I said, I don't think anyone missed her. She worked extremely well.
And as you say, a member of your team associated with Black Caviar, I mean, how much have you been able to feed off that and travelling horses and getting them right? Invaluable experience.
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, I like to do my own thing. I've got a plan in place, and everything's very procedural and structured of where I want to go and what I want to do with every horse that we travel or whatever we do. Paddy's obviously bounced off on that well, and also I touched base with Peter Moody about the horses travelling before we left. And everything's just gone according to plan. She's ate well, drank well, weighs well, worked well. Can't ask for much more than a wide barrier on tomorrow would be good.
What sort of key bit of advice do you think you've taken on board, and just sort of say, right, to help me get the best out of her? Is there anything in particular, or is it just general sort of thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think you've got to know your own horse. She's an individual like we all are. Each horse you've got to treat on their merits, and she's a horse that doesn't need a hell of a lot of work. You just got to keep it ticking over. She's had that month between runs, which that's when she's at her best. So I think it's done her really well. I think the weather suits her. She's dappled up. I'm quietly confident that she'll run extremely well on Saturday night.
I suppose in maybe something, you're a younger trainer in Australia, but for you, what would it mean in context of you to win on the richest night of racing?
Yeah, it'd be pretty big. It's a night of racing that everyone watches from around the world, and I've sat at home watching it, thinking I'd like to get a horse there one time, and quite quickly it's become a reality. So it's you got to bring the right horse. I think we've got the right horse for the right race, and we made sure that we give her a gallop up the straight at Flemington before she come over here, just so she had a look at the straight. And yeah, like I said, we're quietly confident that it could be a great thing for all of us involved, and a bit of a fairy tale if we could pull it off.
So when you had your first winner at Cheltenham, and I say Cheltenham, not the other one, did you think then when this path could see you training a horse on World Cup night when you were doing that at a racecourse I don't think exists anymore.
Anyone that knows me knows I've got high expectations and I'm a hard taskmaster and I work very hard. So, yeah, I probably could see that happening. Joe Bowditch is obviously one of my best mates as well as my stable rider, and he rode my first winner, and here we are in Dubai. I actually said to him yesterday, we've come a long way from little old Adelaide, haven't we? So it's been quite a journey, and I think it'll just continue on. Like I said, we've got a really good team around us. We've got some great support acts with owners and clients, and there's even people here that have runners on Saturday night that I train for now. So it's a worldwide thing and a worldwide coverage of networking, and we'll be doing that while we're here this week as well.
And could you see her travelling further afield? I mean, going further north, maybe a trip to wearing top hat and tails or something like that at Ascot?
It's an old cliche, but one run at a time. Let's get through Saturday night first and hope that she runs extremely well. We were very keen to push on to Hong Kong, which I only found out as I got off the plane that's been squashed, which is pretty unfortunate because it was like we could get there okay from Dubai and not get home to Australia, and now it's worked out the other way around that you can come from Australia and not from Dubai. So quite a predicament, but we'll be happy to settle the score and get a result Saturday night before anything else happens.
And whatever, just not have a quiet flight back, unlike Simon. Anyway,
I don't think David Byrne's record's in doubt at all.
Okay. Google it, everybody. If you don't know what we're talking about, it requires beer and lots of it. Anyway, any questions for Lloyd?
Lloyd mentioned Cheltenham. You've also won at Ascot, a tight track in Australia, and the other Group 1 was Moonee Valley, a very tight track. Does the straight here hold any fears at all?
Not really. I think she's in pretty good order. She had one run a couple of years ago at Flemington, probably before she was Vidora, before she won the Group 1s. She ran in a pretty strong race. Didn't have a hell of a lot of luck. She was down the outside in a real bunched race. Like I said, she likes room. I think the way the racing is here, it is a bit different to obviously at home. They ride a lot tighter, and I find that we should be right. I think you'll find if there's any footage of this morning's gallop, she was very strong through the line. She was one of the best to work there this morning. She did the same at Flemington, hence the reason we took her there. And I hold no fears. I just want to get that slingshot into the race. We'll be trying to follow Blue Point everywhere we have to go if we can. So unless he draws one, hope he does.
And you mentioned very quickly your association with Joe Bowditch. This, I would assume, would be his biggest moment. How's he enjoying and handling the occasion?
Yeah, really good. He's a very laid-back type of guy, so he's not the guy that'll be nervous in the room and worried about it. He treats it like a maid at Balaclava on a Wednesday, so it won't be, which is what you want. You don't want him getting overwhelmed with it, and we'll keep things pretty simple. He knows her very well. I don't really need to tell him too much. It's just a matter of her getting a nice run in the race and hopefully some sort of slingshot into the race. You'll know at the 300 if she's in it because she'll be chiming in very quickly.
Well, Lloyd, thank you for coming along, and best of luck on Saturday night. Could be a big night. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.